Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good Tuesday in the market. August 19th. We're going to review the 0-day options today I took on SPY and the small account challenge. I had some action today. After many trading days of building liquidity, we finally broke out of it. Range, not huge, but bigger than it's been for sure. Let's see, 6 points roughly. That's much better than yesterday's 1 point move. Even though yesterday's 1 point move, there were still some good trades. Today, I would say there were better ones, but it did start to get a little bit trappy here towards the end of day. I'm red today. No excuses. There was nice trades today. I just got, we'll review them. But yeah, kind of frustrating. And then I kind of took it out on the long term in the last couple hours, unfortunately. A little FOMO built up, and then just, a couple stops that. Let's look over it. Let's look. So I was here in the morning, and this is basically what I charted in the morning. This white, this red, this gold, and they were pretty accurate. And then this purple. So first trade, I mentally traded a few, which I'm like, I give myself excuses not to take trades, and it's kind of annoying. I need to stop that. I say, oh, the risk reward's not good, or it's not enough upside or downside, but when I see something obvious, I just need to take it. And I guess it's not always that obvious. I just talk myself out of it somehow. I feel like it's such a habit that it's now just like subconsciously I'm doing it. Anyways, a break on this purple right here was one I literally was like, oh yeah, I guess I could take that. I didn't look at how high it would be if it hit the top of this gold, which would definitely be profit taking. Of course, it didn't have to go up like this. It could have probably come down here and retested, and I was thinking maybe I'd get it here, but I could have just taken on the break or even just that little retest. So I don't know. Early candles, I'm kind of, maybe it's good I talk myself out of more of those, but yeah, so I didn't take that one. Gold was pretty much confirmed with me up here, which is nice. And that also on the 30-minute chart. This is SPY Day Trading on YouTube's chart. Let's see. That would be right here. Right there. Is that it? Oh, I guess it didn't really. I thought it coincided with one of his lines. Maybe it does. It's a mess up there. It did coincide with 5-day. Let's see. Yeah, because 5-day, this is it now, but that's because we sold off a lot today. But here it was like right up there. So couple things. One, bought up in the white. We have some liquidity down here. It did reject on this tapering gold. And then we also have 5-day easy up, and I missed the up. So this is where I took a retracement trade, a potential for retracement, or just catching the head or the top. So this was actually a nice trade. This is all right. Well, I need to review these. So here we go. 10:09. I got it on this green candle. I put a limit order for it in here. I didn't wait for it to break the white. Actually, I probably should have. I kind of forgot. Yeah. Anyways, it filled on this white on this green candle. Came up, kept kind of rejecting, and I held through. My stop was going to be this purple. That's what it was. But the problem is the purple was down here because that was the high, and then it broke above it. I'm like, well, I'll just kind of wait. We've got 5-day there. You don't know if it's this or where the actual high is, and it could be this area. So I was patient on this, but it was already kind of testing me a little bit there, and it hadn't started coming down. But even though it's building liquidity up here, that's still fine because it can still be a nice retracement for an inverse head. When it starts doing this, it doesn't look as much like a head to me, but it can be also. Anyways, once it did that, then I'm like, all right, I'm going to bring this up here just in case. And then it makes this red candle, closes below the white. So I'm like, all right, that's at least better. So I'm kind of using this purple as my stop because this is the least aggressive bearish algo that I'm seeing. Might be less aggressive one, but not that I had seen. And yeah, I'm not looking at the people's charts. So it kind of comes down here, and by this point it's up a little bit, but I'm like you know, I'm looking for VWAP, I'm looking for bottom of the gold for profit taking. And so then it starts to come back up here. I'm like, oh no, is this it? Is this the inverse head for the shoulder? Comes up here. And then this candle, of course it's a little red by now, but this candle, hammer candle, closes above the purple. I'm like, oh no. And then this one sits here for a minute above, so it opened above, it opened here, above purple, goes green and starts to rally. And I'm like, I'm out. Because this one closed above it, this one's opening above it. And I stop out right there on that candle right up there. It's so unfortunate. So I'm happy that I took the trade because it's a trade that I'm not as comfortable with, and I'm kind of, you know, I want to learn and get better and grow my confidence. This stop was only annoying because of course I missed out on a lot of profit. However, it's not all bad because it was the right idea, and having that as my risk management is fine. I could have been a little bit more patient. It was literally 1 second because this candle's flipping green. I'm like, so I didn't necessarily have to wait for this candle to close, but give it a few more seconds to see what it does. I could have waited a little longer. Yeah. Anyways, this is all hindsight, I guess. But yeah, it happens. Came down, so I would have held through this. Yeah, of course it would have been tough because it's not going anywhere. But then I would have taken profits on probably this candle right here. Maybe even a nice exit because it would have hit here. And this candle actually flushed down pretty quick, so I think I would have taken it there. So I missed that. I'm like, a little bit of FOMO. But not too bad. I'm like, well. Then I was just a little confused. I'm like, okay, broke the gold, which is where I'd also get puts again. We've got a shoulder here. You know, I'm looking for an inverse cup to close at this point, but I'm like, it broke the gold. Do I get it on a retrace to the gold? Do I just chase it down here? Do I just wait for the inverse cup to close? I'd rather not, because there's still they're nice profits to be had there. My stop theoretically would be way up here. So, yeah, so at this point, I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, I'll just be patient because I'm not too sure. And that's probably the best idea. Just wait. So that does this big rep. I'm like, oh, okay, wow. And now it's back up in gold. And I'm thinking, well, we got a nice shoulder up here. Maybe this is the inverse head. So that was my thought process into why I did not get puts right here, where when my purple would have been resistance, which is very close, or even on that next candle. This would have been where I should have gotten puts. Oh, you guys can't even see that. Sorry. I'm sorry. Right there. I forget it's chopped off a little bit on the side. So should have gotten them here. But I'm also kind of thinking maybe my line's not right here. So lack of confidence there. I'm like, yeah, because this can happen. You can break the algo and then retrace, build liquidity, build the nested head, which is what this probably is. Inverse cup here in a handle, or head, shoulder, shoulder, mini head and shoulder. So it sits up here, and then like I was looking at calls then. I'm like, well, if it breaks here, I'll get calls. But I just, yeah, wasn't focused enough. I don't know. But anyways, it started coming down like right here. I'm like, wait a minute, we've got a little mini head and shoulders here. I definitely saw this and wanted to take it. The only reason why I didn't was because I didn't know how to manage my risk here. I thought, yeah, I mean, I thought it's probably going to go down. Like, this is looking nice. And sometimes I would take these without having a good idea of my stops, which then the problem is if it just starts to kind of go against you, then I'm just like stopping because it's going red. So at this point I was like, I'm not gonna take that. I don't know where to manage my stops. It would have to be this purple, which is, you know, just too far away from here. So like I said, sometimes I'll just take these not even thinking about my stop because I'm like, this is just nice structure. I can see it. You know, intuition, whatever. And I just decided not to on that one just because, again, my stops and managing the risk. I'm trying to find risk where my risk is and not necessarily for profits. That was kind of my thought process after this. Like, okay, that's because I'm looking for risk and not looking for profits, which I think is fine. Because if you can just manage your risks, you know, profits will be had. Of course, I'm looking for profits too, but risks have to come first. So anyways, that was the nice entry here that I'm proud of. Got stopped. This one, I guess I'm fine with it again because I couldn't see my risk, or I saw it maybe way up there. Even though this was structure that I definitely have traded before and it's worked, and it did break gold and just make that mini head and shoulders. So this was another entry. Came down, completed the inverse cup. Really, it was like here, made it past it. This green wasn't here at this point, but I could have identified it sooner though. Look at these resistances. That was the resistances I found on it, and I'll show you why I actually put this in later. Was because that I was looking for some rejection there, but I'm gonna explain that in a moment. My next trade, so that one was 50 cents to 45 cents. Small loss, which is fine. These went from right here to right here. It was like 85, 90 cents. So I would have been 100%. So closing out at whatever, 6% is fine if I'm making 100% trades. And yeah, I like that. 1142, I got into a put. Okay. Well, yeah. All right. So complete the inverse cup. I'm looking for gold. I think gold builds liquidity, but it might be off a little bit again because it did this, even though this still could be right. I'm thinking maybe it's a little steeper, like these resistances, and then it's up here, and then that's rejecting it. That's acting as resistance with this support, but it just doesn't quite line up. So I'm a little uncomfortable with, at this point, what bears are using to build liquidity. Like I have the white, but that's more of a bullish precision. And gold is, yeah. So at any rate, you're starting to build a shoulder. I'm looking for the handle. I'd like liquidity built here for shoulder and it to run up to either VWAP or this purple, right? So I'm like, if it gets purple, I'll open puts there and that'll be my stop, that purple. It doesn't, makes a little handle, which is fine if I was a little more confident in what was going on here. And after missing this trade and then the stop there, I was just like, not gonna take it, even though I saw this and I liked it and it did break the gold. Little shoulder, head, shoulder. And then after that, that's why I then put this in here. And I'm like, I wonder if there is another channel that it's rejecting there. And that's where this green one came from right there. And then I noticed it also lined up with these resistances here. So seeing that, then I can apply that into the future. And so then I did. But if I had that sooner, I would have said, okay, it broke this green and now it's rejecting it. And that would have been an easier entry there. Or it actually would have helped me with that entry there. I said, okay, rejected that. But without that one there, I'm like, it just stopped in the middle of nowhere. This very well could bounce here. Yeah. Of course, hindsight's much easier here, but it did look good as a head and shoulders. But yeah. So that came down a little bit of, you can see where my head's going right there. That was 44 cents. Wait, no, 1142 to 1143. This was the next trade. So then I get gold down here. What's this one from? I didn't have this one at that point. I don't know what that's from. I'm going to look into that. Weird. So broke gold. Okay, yeah. I forgot about this one. Broke gold, and I get on the retrace. Little retrace. It's not like my favorite structure, but you could say shoulder, head. This was kind of retesting low of day. But regardless, it's breaking gold, which is what it did here and what it did here, showing that the bears were taking over from their controlled buying, which is this. Again, nice. It made a nicer head that sprouted up to here, but it didn't. Anyways, I got in here. So this is another nice entry, and it's just, yeah. So got in here on the retrace, and then it just starts making these big green candles up in there, and I'm like, is there a lower, flatter channel that I'm not seeing? But being that's later in the day, it will do this. It will take more time to build liquidity. It'll take more time to make its move, so it can start rejecting. And it started rejecting. I'm like, well, that's at least good. It's rejecting. But like, I don't even know if I trust these. So it did it here, and then it did it here, and I think I just stopped out. Yeah, I just stopped out there. Dang. 44 cents to 37 cents on this one. End up wicking. I'm like, well, I guess it. Then I just watched it. I'm like, I guess it is rejecting that. But I just didn't want to get back in. I was like, it's so grindy right now. Time of day is not great. And as you can see, this trade wouldn't have been that great. I mean, yeah, it did end up doing, I don't know, 60 or something % from here to here, but at that point I didn't have that green. I think I put that green in once it came down here and started bouncing. Then I went up and put that green in, and now you can see it reenacting again right here. So made this little inverse cup handle, broke the green again. This white wasn't here at that point. And then it comes up, retests it, and rejects that, turns that support back into resistance. And I didn't have this purple here, which this purple, see, I'm only wanting it to come up here, but I'm not even thinking. Maybe it's selling the purple, it's just not all the way up at the very last purple, right? So it's much easier to see once you put that there, or at least managing your risk. I'm looking for risk. Let's see, where's the next trade? 1207 I gotta put. But yeah, you can see rejecting here. Another little inverse cup with a handle, all within, well within my lines here. Let's see, 12. Wait, what is this one? Oh, so I did take that break. Okay, yeah, so at this point I did have that green. That's right. Okay, so I had the green at this point. This structure looked nice. It did break green, but the problem is it's just selling purple, and that was my issue. So I got it on this candle. After it broke, got a fill. I don't know if I was early or late or where. And then just kind of grind it down. I did not have this white at that point. So I'm like, why isn't this selling a steeper channel? It doesn't always work like that. And lack of volume. So yeah, that was 32 cents to 22 cents. I held this one all the way. Let's see, I did it 1207. 1223. Yeah, so you see my... Oh my gosh, it was this one. Wait, is this? Oh, I forgot about this trade. So yeah, I mean, the problem with this is my stop is this green, right? If it breaks back into it, that's my stop. And I don't know if I had this purple at this point, but otherwise I would have said, all right, well, this is definitely my last stop. 1223. Yeah, wait. Yeah, 1223. I could stop it right here. Gosh. Another wick got me out. That one up there wasn't necessarily a wick, but it was... So this one closed out my put. Not like it was great, but it would have been much better. Would have felt much better. I don't know if I would have held through all this. Because at that point I had to draw the white, so I maybe would have closed it here. And by here, it was like almost break even, which would have been much better than another loss. If I did hold, and I had the purple by then, which I think I did, then I would have held through here. I probably would have closed it here. And then I actually considered getting puts here, just on a break of this white. I did this more aggressive. I don't have it charted, but this aggressive red right here. It's fine I didn't though, because I was a little perturbed at that point. 147 got a call. So it came down. Yeah. So this was kind of a retracement trade I was going for. Made a little inverse head and shoulder. It grabbed the shoulder. And then this was the last, this purple right here was the last one. So that was right here, breaking that. And that was my thinking on that. I didn't take it there though on the break, so I'm actually happy about that. You also have green being resistance right here, as you can see, so that's bearish. But when it made this, okay, so when I was thinking here when it broke this, I'm like, well, my stop wouldn't be till gold. So I just chilled on it, and that's also nice because that was a resistance. So that's still showing it's bearish, but doesn't mean it can't be broken by the bulls. Put another purple out here. Wait, hold on. No, yeah. So it came here and then did this nice red candle, and this is when I got the calls. So I was happy with my entry there. Took a little confidence. Let's see, it actually was there. It was on the very next candle. Got a call because I'm thinking this is my stop. It comes up. Like there's a nice little inverse head and shoulder if it makes it. It doesn't. It kind of grinds. And then breaks gold. And I think this is where I close it. Yeah. I close it actually at the beginning of that candle. Right here. So hit my stop. And I'm happy about that though, because yeah, it took patience and discipline on that one, 'cause to complete this inverse cup, or this cup, it looked like a nice handle, and all the structure was lined up there. The only clue which could have kept me from doing it again was that this turned into resistance, and this had been confirmed as bears building liquidity with that channel. So, however, again, bulls could have broken out of that, but yeah, well, that's why I had my stop there. And once you have a stop there, could have gotten puts here. Could have gotten them on the resistance of that. I guess for me, since it was outside the purple, yeah, and maybe I did actually on the big account. I'm not gonna read the big account. I didn't do good at the end here, but puts here I suppose could have been a nice one for a little micro head and shoulder on the break of this gold. This is kind of hindsight though a little bit, because yeah, this time of day it's yeah. I'm not sure when I charted this white, but yeah. That trade, yeah. And then yeah, pretty choppy into close really. Not a whole lot left there. There was, I guess Emperor got this trade, which was nice. I was over trading way too much in here, so I didn't have the mental capacity to see that it was hitting this support down here just for a little end of day lotto. Get calls. That's the problem. You only have so many trades you can mentally be focused for. Thanks for watching, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. You saw the chart. Yep, that's what I'm down today. I wouldn't be as frustrated if I didn't do poorly on the big account after and kind of revenge trade. Because today I'm pretty happy with. I'm bummed I missed stuff, but I'm happy with my entries. Happy with what I saw. Had good risk management on closing. It's just a little unfortunate on some of them with my stops. So I think my confidence did grow some though for the remainder of the week. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.